What if I told you that an ordinary trip to the grocery store could reveal the true measure of a person? What if a single moment of cruelty could be transformed into a powerful lesson in kindness, resilience, and the strength of the human spirit? Today's story is one of transformation, compassion, and standing up for what is right. But before we dive in, I want to know, where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy stories that touch the heart and ignite the will to overcome adversity, make sure to subscribe to Timeless Stories for more inspiring content every day. It was a typical afternoon at a busy grocery store nestled in the heart of the city, a place where the rhythm of everyday life played out against the backdrop of colorful produce, buzzing checkout lanes, and the soft murmur of conversations blending with the beeps of cash registers. The air carried a sense of purpose as people from all walks of life moved about, each carrying their own dreams, struggles, and hopes. Among the many faces in the store was Michael, a young man of 22 who had just begun his first day on the job. Michael was no stranger to challenges. Born with Down syndrome, he had spent his entire life proving, time and again, that his capabilities far surpassed the limitations others often assumed. His journey was not one of mere survival, but of triumphant resilience. A journey that resonated with the message that every person deserves respect, dignity, and the opportunity to shine. Michael's morning had been filled with a mixture of nervous excitement and determination. His loving mother had instilled in him the belief that kindness and perseverance were his most powerful allies. "Always remember," she had said with gentle firmness, "you are more than what anyone else might think. Your heart and dedication will lead you to great things." Those words had become his silent mantra as he walked into the store, ready to embrace his new responsibility. That day, Michael was assigned to the checkout counter, a station where precision was valued and every item mattered. He was meticulous in his work, carefully scanning each product, double-checking prices, and bagging groceries with a care that reflected his pride in his role. His gentle nature and quiet determination shone through in every action, as he believed that doing his job well was a way to honor himself and those who had supported him along the way. Across the store, life continued its usual pace. Shoppers meandered through aisles, selecting ingredients for dinner parties, stocking up on daily necessities, or simply enjoying the routine of a day well lived. Yet, as the afternoon sun filtered through the windows, one customer's impatient demeanor was about to cast a shadow over this seemingly ordinary day. She was a woman in her 40s, impeccably dressed in designer clothes that exuded an air of sophistication and entitlement. Her presence was immediately noticeable. The click of her high heels on the polished floor resonated like a metronome ticking impatiently, announcing her hurried and imperious arrival. With her perfectly styled hair and an expression that suggested she believed the world should cater to her whims, she strolled purposefully toward the checkout line. As fate would have it, her path led her directly to Michael's counter. Standing in line, she crossed her arms and let out an exaggerated sigh, her eyes narrowing in contempt as she watched Michael diligently bag each item. "Are you serious?" she muttered under her breath, her tone dripping with impatience. "This is taking forever." Her words carried an unspoken judgment, a swift, harsh assessment of someone who did not meet her rapid expectations. When the moment finally arrived for her turn at the counter, she carelessly tossed her items onto the counter. The clatter of her groceries disrupted the rhythmic sounds of the store. "Let's move it along," she demanded sharply, tapping her fingers in an impatient cadence. Michael, ever the picture of calm, greeted her with a polite smile and a soft-spoken, "Good afternoon, ma'am." "I hope you're having a great day." Her response was cold and dismissive. "Great day? It would be if I wasn't stuck in the slowest checkout line in existence," she sneered, her voice rising enough for nearby customers to take notice. Michael, feeling the weight of her disapproval, tried his best to work a little faster. But his careful nature, a quality that his mentors and his mother had nurtured in him, meant that he could not compromise on thoroughness. Every item had to be scanned correctly, every bag secured neatly, and every detail attended to with care. With each passing second, the woman's irritation grew. "Oh my God," she snapped, her voice loud enough to echo off the walls. "Is this a joke? How hard is it to put groceries in a bag? Her outburst drew the attention of other shoppers who exchanged uneasy glances. The store fell into a momentary hush, as if time itself paused to witness the unfolding scene. In the midst of the tension, a mishap occurred. Michael's hands, under the strain of trying to meet an impossible pace, trembled slightly. A carton of eggs, fragile and delicate, slipped from his grasp, crashing onto the counter with a disheartening thud. The woman gasped dramatically, shaking her head as if this was the climax of a farce. "Unbelievable," she declared with scorn. "This is exactly why you shouldn't hire people who can't do the job." The atmosphere in the store turned heavy. The once bustling environment was now marred by an air of judgment and discomfort. Other customers, initially passive observers, began to murmur among themselves. Some expressed sympathy with nods and murmured reassurances, while others appeared too intimidated to offer any words of support. The woman, sensing that her actions had not won her the respect she expected, turned her attention to the growing line behind her. "Do you all see this?" she proclaimed loudly. "This is why our society is crumbling. We have to wait because one person can't manage something as simple as bagging groceries?" The cruelty in her words was palpable. Michael's eyes, usually bright with quiet determination, now shimmered with unshed tears. His breath became shallow, and his heart pounded as he struggled to keep his emotions in check. Every second seemed to stretch into an eternity, the silence around him a stark contrast to the chaos of his internal turmoil. Just when it seemed that the cruelty might reach an unbearable crescendo, a commanding voice sliced through the tension. "That's enough." Everyone in the store turned to see who had dared to break the silence. Standing tall amidst the charged atmosphere was a man whose presence seemed to fill the room with a quiet, yet undeniable authority. Clad in a simple black jacket and jeans, his demeanor was unassuming, but his eyes conveyed a deep sense of compassion and resolve. The man was none other than Keanu Reeves, a figure who, by his very reputation and gentle spirit, symbolized fairness and kindness. The recognition of his presence rippled through the crowd like a refreshing breeze. Some customers whispered in awe, while others discreetly pulled out their phones to capture this unexpected moment. Yet Keanu Reeves was not in the store for attention or to bask in the glow of adoration. His purpose was clear: to stand up for dignity, to champion kindness, and to remind everyone present that every person deserves respect. Stepping forward with measured grace, Keanu addressed the impatient woman. "Ma'am," he began, his voice firm yet compassionate, "there is no excuse for treating someone with such disrespect." His words were gentle but carried the weight of moral authority. Caught off guard, the woman blinked, her confident facade faltering. "Excuse me? And who do you think you are?" she retorted, her tone wavering as she tried to reclaim control of the situation. Keanu's response was calm and unwavering. "I am someone who believes that kindness must come before impatience, that every person's dignity is more important than a few extra seconds of your time." His gaze swept over the gathered crowd, finding solidarity in the supportive nods and murmurs of agreement from other customers. The atmosphere shifted perceptibly. The woman's face reddened as she realized that her actions were not only being witnessed, but also condemned by those around her. In that charged moment, she felt the weight of public judgment, a realization that she had chosen cruelty over compassion. Turning his attention to Michael, Keanu offered him a warm smile and a reassuring pat on the shoulder. "What's your name, buddy?" he asked gently. Michael, his voice trembling but determined, managed a quiet reply. Michael." "Michael," Keanu said, his tone filled with encouragement, "you're doing an excellent job. Remember, your efforts and your heart speak volumes about who you are." In that instant, Michael's face brightened with a tentative smile, a small but powerful victory against the cruelty he had faced. Then, addressing the woman once more, Keanu added, "This moment could have been an opportunity for kindness. Instead, you chose to show impatience and cruelty. It's not too late to choose differently, to show compassion and understanding." His words hung in the air, a challenge and an invitation all at once. The woman, silenced and visibly shaken, found herself unable to muster a retort. With nothing left to say, she gathered her belongings and left the store in a huff, her heels clicking one final time as she stormed out. In her departure, The oppressive tension that had filled the room began to dissipate, replaced by a palpable sense of relief and unity. In the wake of the incident, a transformation had taken place. Applause and murmurs of encouragement filled the space as customers approached Michael with kind words and supportive smiles. His initial vulnerability had given way to a quiet strength, a testament to the fact that every act of kindness can empower a person to rise above adversity. Later that evening, as the incident was captured on video and shared across social media, the story spread like wildfire. The world watched in awe as Keanu Reeves had taken a stand for fairness, and Michael emerged as a symbol of resilience and dignity. The hashtag number Kindness Matters began to trend, inspiring countless others to reflect on the importance of empathy, respect, and understanding in everyday life. Beyond the viral moment, the incident sparked a broader conversation about the way we treat one another. It reminded us all that behind every action is a human being with feelings, aspirations, and dreams. Michael's unwavering commitment to doing his best, despite the obstacles in his path, served as a beacon of hope for those who face challenges in silence. And Keanu Reeves's timely intervention reinforced the idea that kindness is a powerful force, one that has the ability to mend wounds, build bridges, and transform lives. In the days that followed, stories of similar acts of compassion began to emerge in communities around the world. People shared how a simple act of kindness had changed their day, their perspective, or even their life. Conversations ignited on social media, in workplaces, and in neighborhoods, reminding everyone that even in a world that sometimes seems dominated by impatience and indifference, kindness is always within reach. Michael continued his journey at the grocery store, no longer just a cashier, but a quiet ambassador of perseverance and human decency. With each customer he served, he carried with him the memory of that fateful afternoon, a day when a stranger's words and a moment of vulnerability were transformed into a powerful lesson in empathy and respect. His story became a reminder that every person, regardless of their abilities or challenges, has the right to be treated with dignity, and that every act of kindness, no matter how small, contributes to a better world. And so as we close today's story, let's take a moment to reflect on the lesson it imparts. Each day presents us with a choice. We can either succumb to impatience and judgment, or we can choose to lift each other up through compassion and understanding. A kind word, a supportive smile, or a gesture of encouragement can make all the difference. In a world that often seems fraught with tension and division, let us remember that our shared humanity binds us together and that kindness truly always wins. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If Michael's story has touched your heart or reminded you of the importance of empathy, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters, and your kindness can spark change far beyond what you might imagine. Remember, this is Timeless Stories, where every story is a stepping stone toward a brighter, more compassionate world. If you found this story as inspiring as we did, please hit that subscribe button and share this video with your friends and family. Let's spread the message that every act of kindness creates a ripple effect, making our communities and our world a better place. Until next time, keep believing in the power of kindness. Stay strong and continue to inspire and uplift one another. Subscribe now, leave a comment, and join our community of dreamers and doers. Because together we can make a difference, one kind act at a time.